Hello everyone, Andy Schwab here with your Farm and Ranch News. A study from the USDA's Agricultural Research Service confirmed the value of livestock grazing as a tool to protect western rangelands from wildfires. The Public Lands Council hailed the research as more proof of the important role livestock grazing plays to protecting our natural resources. PLC President Mark Robert said, in a year where wildfires have run rampant across the West, this study is a great reminder livestock grazing must be an integral part of the land management and wildfire mitigation. The study demonstrated that grazing supports the reduction of fire fuels that pose huge risk in sagebrush ecosystems that are prone to wildfire. Now, by applying the targeted grazing in these landscapes, managers can create effective fuel breaks to slow the fire activity and improve the suppression efforts. Well, the ongoing labor disputes between Teamsters Canada Rail Conference and two major railways, that being Canadian National Railway and Canadian Pacific Kansas City, remains unresolved after meetings with Labor Minister Steve McKinnon this week. Now, tensions escalated between them both as they announced the lockouts for thousands of workers yesterday following unsuccessful negotiations that have dragged on for over 10 months. These disputes affect approximately 6,000 rail workers across Canada, including locomotive engineers, conductors, and traffic controllers. The conflict is causing concern within the ag industry as this prolonged strike could severely disrupt the movement of critical commodities like grains and oil. Despite the industry pressure, the Canadian government has yet to intervene. Both the railways are urging the binding arbitration to resolve the deadlock and protect the North American supply chains from further disruption. Well, we need to take a break, but we'll be back in a little bit to look over your ag markets.
I wanted to put up a fence to protect my tomato plants. So I grabbed this, and then I did this. But instead of yielding a big crop, I hit a utility line and had to pay $1,200 in repairs. I didn't just lose my pride and joy. I could no longer afford the new stovetop I'd been saving up for. Next time, I'm going to make my free call to 811 before I dig.
Learn from Curry and hundreds of others. Call 811 before you dig.
Welcome back, friends. Here, Ag News in your markets. I'm Andy Schwab. As Palmer Amaranth continues to spread across the Intermountain West, the University of Wyoming has released a new publication on how to identify this invasive weed, best practices for preventing its dispersal, and the limited options available for its control. Kelsey Brock, UW Extension invasive plant species, said, as far as they know, Palmer Amaranth is still relatively rare in Wyoming, and they hope it's still possible to prevent widespread establishment. Palmer Amaranth is especially damaging to row crops and crops that emerge later in the growing season, the authors reported. In addition to that reduced crop yield, the weed can act as a host for insect pests and release chemicals that impede the growth of other plants. In the drier conditions, Palmer Amaranth can also actually generate high levels of nitrates and, in some cases, become toxic to livestock. Now, that full press release is available on our website, northernag.net. And today's cattle markets will likely be a lot of wait and see as traders take position ahead of the latest cattle on feed report. That, of course, could set the trend for next week's prices. And Superior Livestock kicked off the cattle this week from our region on Wednesday. That was our Bighorn Classic video auction. The yearling steers were about 15 cents back from the all-time high set just last month, while young bred cows saw strong demand. And sheep sales also continue to soften as producers are bringing their herds in off the summer pastures. Coal ewes, however, held steady on the higher end. And wheat futures dropped like a rock early on Thursday, taking a lead from the Paris milling wheat futures, forging to new lows and ideas of the Canadian rail strike, and that could lead to weakened bids from grain. In addition, spring wheat was lower on the pressure of a good harvest of a bumper crop. Well, that's going to do it for our Ag Report from the Northern Ag Network. I'm Andy Schwab. Have a great day.